Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 389. Yeah, you're probably thinking, wait, where's this new anime you're going to do? Well, I was going to do The Strongest Magician in the Demon's Army Was a Human, but I decided, though, that can wait. Yes, I am going to watch that during my break for my next Sentai, the next Tokusatsu series, which I'll reveal at the end of this, my first talk this one. So, excuse me, we're here discussing just two episodes here, just 34 and 35. 34 is basically the return of Champ. So basically, they're all wondering. Of course, they're basically just doing whatever on their ship. Well, actually, no, they're actually planning on They basically find out. They figure out a way to find the exact coordinates for the Shogun's home planet. So Balance decided to use the microscopic thing to look into Nega's brain. And meanwhile, though, well, one of the Vice Shoguns had to fire their ship from the surface of Earth. Yes. And of course, we introduce a rogue Champa. Except this is actually not Champa. This is a duplicate robot. Looks exactly like him. And also, then we have the real Champa show up thinking he's somebody else, wearing a luchador-style mask. And following Guru, the whole episode, Stinger knows this actually is Champ. It's only to clear his name, and eventually he's able to defeat him. And thanks to the new power that basically Lucky has, using his Leo Orion power, he's able to defeat the Vice Shogun. Well, one of many ways. He does come back a little later. He does get rebuilt. He does get destroyed this episode. But aside from the return of Champ and the second instruction of this one character, basically, well, that's all. Oh yeah, and also the big accomplishment is that they basically tied the coordinates to the Shogun's place known as Planet Southern Cross. So they're on the way there, and in the very next episode, they find out that the other Vice Shogun, the female one, Akiaba, yes, she's back. First time in present day, I would say since, well, I don't think it had been that long. I mean, she did appear in the previous episode briefly, but she wasn't necessarily main character. I would say her last major thing she did was back in episode 31. This is probably her first prominent thing she's done. And of course, also this episode, we introduced a brand new character. A character who appeared a couple times, 2 or 3 times in the course of the series. Hoshi Minto, this singer, very popular singer, played by Hariyoti Nashimoto. That name I'm not familiar over here, but you are familiar with his characters he played on Sentai prior to this. This is Magi Yellow from Magi Ranger, and Brett Beetle from Go Busters. Yep, and playing his third ever character. Like, I would say this is the first non-Sentai Ranger character he's played. Here he's just, well, this is actually the first time he appeared in person in the main series since episode 14. He does appear a few more times after this as a recurring character. Though, I should point out, though, this is one of, 5 non-Ranger characters he's played. He did, of course, play alt version of his character from Go Busters in the Dabu Sentai Go Busters movie. There's that. This actually is the second one he's ever done. He also appeared in Kira Major, the 10th anniversary Gokaiger movie, and Kira Major spinoff Yolanda Final. So, yeah. Though this might be also the first time he's appeared in makeup. Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, by the way, in the case of his character, Masato Janke, Brett Buster, I've seen pretty much every single appearance, every single appearance of this guy except for one movie, which I'll discuss that another time. As in the case of his first character, I would say all but one. So basically, his two main Sentai roles, I have one thing left to go for them. For this character, I have. Well, this is the first time I technically talked with this guy. You know, he did appear in the first episode of this very series. They also mentioned he was also advertising for this particular palace, this resort palace that basically that the Jark basically go to, which that's interesting. So, and apparently Hammy is a fan of his. We see this with a poster in I think like her room. So, yeah, she does not think he's not part of the Jark. He's probably suspected. Oh, by the way, in the case of Dr. Anton, the scientist was killed in one Champ's flashbacks. Well, he actually was a Jark matter scientist, and it turns out he was not built for a realm of justice. Basically, that's a hint for something later. Also, discover he has Berserk mode. Yes, that's something except in episode 34 that'll be explored later on. Now, the whole thing of the whole Berserk mode, that's not explored this episode here. It's not there per se, but you could say 34 is set for a lot of future storylines. And I mean a lot. So, and they have a flashback of Hammy first meeting him before making his first break. Now, in case you're curious though, this is probably inspired by real life singers. Yes. Definitely, because I've never met any singers per se who basically started just. I have seen this before, where you have singers just playing songs, like singing songs inside the road. Basically have the guitar case open, hoping for money to go recording studio. This is nothing unusual. This is standard both in real life and pretty much in like even in fiction. This is very common. So Hammy mentions when she left her planet Chameleon that she wandered for a while, and every place she went basically was shown by Jark Matter. Then she heard one of his songs, and then later on, this comes up later on in the episode where they have this thing that basically reveal who people are, and she sings the song. He doesn't remember it, but then she says basically the words about pushing for his dream, kind of, and then she unleashes, uses all, like, when the Kyuranger show up and basically cause distraction, he uses the thing and reveal that his manager is Vice Shogun. Now, he himself is perfectly normal, and the thing on his shoulder is actually the Shogun himself. Yes. Though the Shogun is actually the true Form 1 who last appeared in episode 30 of the series. Yes. How the heck is he alive? Don't know. This is something else that's set up for our future storyline. It's like, wow, I come back basically with my break, and we also have two potential story arcs here. Like, one, the whole thing with Champa, and two, the whole thing with Dawn Amarage. So, they used, oh, by the way, also 34 debuted in the Orion Bazooka, which has all four Megazords show up, and eventually they fired the bazooka at the monster of the episode, destroying him. This one particularly, they destroy, well, supposed to destroy Don Bertolo. He does come back, definitely. And of course, basically, the singer basically thanks him for freeing him from the mind control. And, well, that he'll be back, definitely. But, I gotta say, two really good episodes. I like the setup for two potential plot threads here. Like, in the case, oh, by the way, in the case of the Vice Shogun, Nega does take her on along with some of the other Kyurangers. So she is finally destroyed here. Yep, she is destroyed, though she does come back in a one-off return. But yeah, this is her last regular appearance. Because they are done with the character. But she does come back once after this, a little bit later. And then afterwards, well, she does make a return, like, I think like officially once. As this one character. Well, she technically comes back in like two appearances after this, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely looking forward to see what's happening next year. Mm-hmm. Also, I should point out though the Micro Millers, the drills appearing throughout a lot of the series. It appears basically they have been pretty much dropped from the series for now. But they'll return. But basically, it's like they remain driving force for a lot of the series, and they basically kind of retired them. And I definitely see what basically I'm going to do next. Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to be pretty much it for particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the like button. I'm going to go briefly, and I'll be right back to discuss a few more episodes of the series, along with basically a comic corner. Okay? Next video. Bye.